This is huge news, and I really want everyone to pay attention really closely to these stocks, especially over the next few months. So let's get down to it. What are the stocks that I am talking about? Basically, it's the cruise stocks. Cruise lines. Cruise lines they have been hammered like crazy, and of course, that is what we're going to be talking about today. Royal Caribbean, Carnival, many of the others, they have been hit the hardest because they have huge loans to pay off these hundreds of millions of dollars worth of boats. And who's to say when they can cruise again? But guess what? 2022 is probably going to be their year of a massive, massive comeback. So why do I say this? Well, Royal Caribbean, as of today, just got approval to do test cruises. They are going to have volunteers go onto their cruise ships, or at least the ship they are going to be doing it on is the Freedom of the Seas, and the CEO, President Michael Bailey, posted a letter on Facebook very recently writing, after 15 months and so much work by so many during very challenging times, to all of our colleagues, loyal guests, and supporters all over the world, I am proud and pleased to share some bright and wonderful news. The test cruise is coming. Yes, they are going to be able to do test cruises. This is fantastic news. So, the test cruises can begin as early as June 20th from the Port of Miami with a laundry list of pandemic precautions. And of course, we all knew this was coming. And that includes a limited number of passengers, socially distanced, wearing masks, and also testing everybody on board for COVID-19. So what does this really mean? How are they going to be testing people with COVID-19? Are they going to be jabbing down these things down your nose every single day and basically choking to death until they say that you are free of the virus? Or are they going to do my idea, which is just basically setting up temperature scanners throughout the ship? And as soon as somebody shows a temperature, and of course they have facial recognition technology in this world, well, guess what? Let's wait until maybe 20 minutes from now, and let's see him walk past another one of those scanners. Because, of course, us humans, we may have just been outside playing basketball for 2 hours, and we get hot. We get really hot. And I'm not just talking about me taking off my shirt hot. I'm talking about heat, and if that's 20 minutes later and they've cooled down and they're fine, then they're fine. But if they're still hot, somebody then can go in and test them for something, whatever it may be. Probably not COVID, but we'll have to see. So, and I'm getting another phone call. So hello to whoever this is.
Oh, hello everybody.
And this is why I personally think that, of course, cruising stocks are going to go insane. So, number one, I knew from the start, as soon as they start cruising, cruise stocks are going to go up because of the potential of what's going to come. And then what's going to follow is the just huge masses of people wanting to have a cruise. And that is what's going to happen. So we people like myself who just absolutely love cruising for just the great food and just unlimited amounts of food that are there and the ability to play basketball 8 hours a day with random people, that is a lot of fun to myself personally. And if that is something that you like to do, which is eat, travel, and play whatever sport that you like, and it's on the boat, then cruising is for you. And for anyone who just wants to cruise, there's going to be mountains and piles of people who are going to want to cruise. And there are these cruise ships, I can say right now, probably will be booked up for years of people wanting to go on cruises now. And when that happens, and if that happens, those cruise line stocks are going to go massively up. And then if they start their dividend payments once again, which is one of the 3 reasons as to why I hold Carnival stock, and what's going to happen is they will start paying dividends once again, and when that happens, there will be a small spike once again. So we're seeing essentially 3 spikes that are going to happen with the stock. Not necessarily all next year, but the first spike is going to be this year, and that is when cruise lines start cruising again. I'm going to take a guess that it's going to be in the fall. Second spike is going to be when they start getting the earnings coming in and everyone's saying, wow, they are booked up forever. That is going to be the second spike. Will it be later on this year or will it be next year? I'm not too sure, but whenever those earnings start coming out and they start crushing their earnings for one, and for two, they start saying, hey, we're booked full. We can't get anyone else on our cruises. We need to try and figure out ways of getting more people on cruises. That is going to be the second spike. And then the third spike is going to be when, of course, they start saying, we've made so much money, we need to start paying our dividends once again. And when that happens, I don't know if it's going to be a massive spike. I'm going to say it's a good, probably a 2 or 3% jump. And over that time, I'm going to say that probably by the end of next year, maybe even 2023, sometime in there, Carnival stock itself will be hitting all-time highs once again. These are my predictions. Of course, you always have to try and figure out what is the best investment for yourself. Make sure to contact qualified professionals for that. But these are my own personal thoughts. Now, why do I own Carnival stock? What is the main reason behind it? It is because I go on a lot of cruises. I like Carnival. Carnival is a cheap cruise to go on. Generally speaking, it's around $1,000 for not like a cheaper room, or you can get up to around $2,000 altogether and get in a really nice room. And for a whole week, when you're combining that into a 7-day, that ends up to be, what would that be? Around maybe a $220 a day cruise, or a $220 a day vacation, where you could go on to a really nice vacation, spend $220 a night for a room, and still have to pay for food and things like that and entertainment. So that alone makes Carnival super cheap anyways. Carnival's going to be probably one of the most wanted brands when it comes to people wanting to go to a cruise, because not many people may have a ton of money to spend on cruising, and Carnival's kind of the cheap equivalent. So that is why. And of course, the biggest reason is when it comes to Carnival cruise stock, when you own 100 of their shares, you get deals. So when you go on a cruise and you own 100 shares of Carnival minimum, you can get anywhere from $50 and up for a room credit, and that itself is a dividend. So if you go on, let's say, one cruise a year, that itself, it doesn't show up on your income statement as a dividend. If you go on, like, let's say a 14-day cruise and get, I think it's around $150, that doesn't show up on your income statement at the end of the year as a $150 US credit. That shows up on your nothing. It's tax-free. So you can get a tax-free dividend for owning 100 shares if you go on cruises. And then the more cruises, I don't know if there's a limit on how many you can do in a year, but let's say if you were allowed to do maybe 2 or 3 a year, and you did that easily over a year, then you're looking at maybe upwards of $450 of basically credit of money. That's basically a dividend. You're going to be spending money on the cruise ship anyways, so you might as well take it. So this is why I own Carnival. This is why I think that there's going to be massive spikes in the Carnival, as well as Norwegian and everyone else. Royal Caribbean, all their stock prices are going to go up over the next little while because of that. And 2022 is going to be probably a killer year for them. I hope that you've enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys again next time.